My name's Daemon and I play bass for Prognosis. I also sing. I am just a bassist, nothing more, don't look at me. I play 5-string because the other guys also play the extended range instruments. And we like heavy. I mean, what you get from that low end, you need 4, you know, 5's the one. I don't want 6 either. Fender Jazz Bass for me was just the one I really wanted. I went through numerous sort of like guitar shops and catalogues and internet, and I was looking for something, and there was just something about the classic jazz bass that really interested me. In fact, I've got my eye on a second jazz bass, which we'll potentially talk about at some point. That's the guitar anyway. I only have one. Would you believe it? I play in Prognosis and I have one bass guitar. Rig-wise, I've been using 2 different rigs, amps. So I've got the Hartke 3500, which I picked up for next to nothing. So I rag this thing about. I love it, but it's pretty hardy. And I also use, squeeze the arse shut, a Gallion-Kruger 400 RB3. This thing is solid state. I mean, this thing underneath is also solid state. It says it's got TUSB, which is tubes. It's not, it's just a sticker I stuck on it. But no, this thing as well. This thing's hardy as hell. It weighs a lot, but it's quite small, compact, which when you gig in and you're using a car to get from A to B, that's the one you want. None of this giant amp head stuff. As long as you've got a good cab at the other end, you're normally alright. Cab wise, I do have a sort of matching one with a Hartke 3500. I use a big double 15-inch beast. This was presented to me by Simon from Frozen in Shadows. As in the early days of Frozen in Shadows, they were using this room and decided to blow my cab. So he replaced me with this, but this thing's superior. Not nothing. I paid money for it, but I got this for very little, and I think the guy who sold it to me sort of had that moment of hesitation as he handed it over. Recent war wounds include missing tone pot. It's also rusty as shit because I sweat all over it, and if you've never seen this before, I'm a really sweaty bass player. I don't even know why. So I had to have it hard modded, which is probably quite interesting if you can see this, but the actual scratch plate itself and underneath was etched out by the riffsmith, Eddie Johnson. He put some DiMarzio, I can't remember the model, but the DiMarzio, and they sound nice. It also came, when I bought it came with this badass Bass 5 bridge, which I'm pretty certain isn't a standard Fender bridge that comes with this beautiful made in Mexico model. But that's generally the guitar, and like I said, I got it for nothing, but it was the one I wanted. You know, I had no hesitation with it. I just wanted a Fender. I knew I wanted a Fender. To this day, I just want another Fender. I use Rotor Sound strings as well. British company, so I support those guys. I don't ask for anything off them, but if they'd like to give me some sort of 5%, 10% discount, I will have Rotor Sound tattooed on my arm with a temporary tattoo. Oh yeah, so I've got, if you can see that at the back, we've got the Grosvenor machine heads as well. This actually was missing from the start, which was quite apt because it's the 5th string. So I thought, you know, just because it's different, it's missing that back. I never replaced it. I thought there's no point in it. You can tell which one's the 5th string. Every guitar player, whether you play electric guitar, you play bass guitar, I believe should have a set of pedals, and these pedals will have, I said, multiple functionality. Most important one is your tuner, because nothing sound, none of this on stage. Seriously, that's unprofessional, and I only do it every now and then. So we've got the chromatic tuner. I also then use a bass chorus, and I use the Boss bass chorus because I'm a Boss nerd. I like Boss pedals. I think they're compact, they're colourful, and it makes me want to buy them. I've only got 2 of them on my pedal board, but I used to have a whole Boss system, which was Boss. So I have a Tech 21 Bass Driver Deluxe preamp. This thing, okay, I'll be honest with you, I don't read a lot of bass magazines, so finding out this information, I don't know how I found out about the Tech 21, but I heard it was really good and very expensive, and this is before I heard of Dark Glass. No offense, Tech 21, like I'll stick with you, you know, because you guys are awesome, but Dark Glass does sound really good, and which, confess time, we used that on our album. We used a lot of Dark Glass on the album. But to counter the fact that I don't have the Dark Glass pedal, I do use this Tech 21, which has really good overdrive sort of distortion features when you start pushing that drive right up. On top of that, I use the MXR Bass Fuzz Deluxe, which you'll have heard at some point in this video. This was a gift to me by somebody who doesn't even know it was a gift to me. It's all coming out now. A friend, no, a staff member said I can use this. Turns out that staff member had acquired it from another bass player. I'll probably talk to you at some point after you've seen this video, if you watch the video. If not, then it's mine. So that's really it. I've got my own power supply for it, and I've attached my wireless kit to it as well. I use a 3-port Sennheiser wireless system. I got this thing, I'm not even kidding, about 15 years ago from Sound Control in Manchester, before Sound Control became a venue. I love it. It's held its own, and to this day, I mean, I played Bloodstock with it and stuff like that. So yeah, the 3-port was a good little piece of kit, and probably is due an upgrade now, but can't go wrong with it. So Prognosis' plans for 2019 include HRH Metal in Birmingham. We're going to be playing the O2 Academy, I believe. I don't know what day it is. I should probably know what day it is, but I don't know what day it is. We also have a gig in Swansea coming up, and I've always wanted to play Swansea since League of Gentlemen. I don't know if you know the reference, but there it is. Where else are we playing? We're playing in Liverpool with Reaper. Which I don't know if I can say anything, but we've got some awesome plans with Reaper for 2019. Prognosis and Reaper are going to rip the country apart. We've got some big plans. The Northwest are coming down. So obviously we've got our album, which we released on the 21st of September, I think it was, which we've had loads of decent coverage of it. You know, all the nice comments from people. All the decent press and stuff like that. So we're trying to get out there, trying to get to as many places as possible so that we can show that album to you, at least how we play it live, which is pretty much exactly how it appears on the album, but depends on how much we've drank the night before. So just keep your eyes out for Prognosis. what's coming up, because we've got new merch, got new materials coming out of our asses at the moment. We have loads of new songs that we're working on. We're hopefully looking at the end of next year being sort of the announcement for a second album. All that's not confirmed, so don't quote me on it, but we're trying to keep our goals within a good steady time frame for people. We don't want you to forget about us. All this cool the spotlight on us, which is awesome. We just don't want you to forget about us. So we want to give you something even better, and the stuff that you've heard so far is our beginning stuff. The stuff we're writing now is, with everything we've learned, it's just pushing boundaries for our own selves. Some of the riffs are hard, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a musician and I like the challenge, you know, we all like the challenge. So yeah, I'd just like to say thank you to Phil Christian, and Aaron for being an awesome band. They make me, I hope I do the same for them. But you know, we love each other, we're family, we're band members and brothers. We hate each other and we love each other all the time. I wouldn't change it for the world. So just big thanks to them guys for all this. And that's it. The thing about bass is a good bass line doesn't need to do more than is required. A silly bass player like me will try and do way more than is required, because I can't help but try and keep up with the drummer and the guitar player. Fucking mental, guys.